My name is Greta Thunberg. I am a climate justice activist from Sweden, doing a more or less half-hearted attempt to being a student, but mainly my time goes to activism. I have quite bad period cramps today, but I'm managing, keeping my head above the surface. No, I'm good. I'm really looking forward to the strike tomorrow and the day after that. If you actually listen to what we said from the beginning, was a very critical line towards capitalism in our current system. It was just that the media kind of picked out their own narrative around that and framed it as if we were angry teenagers who didn't really know what we were talking about, who were just like saying we want a future and didn't have any criticism towards the system. But we very much did have that. But the narrative has shifted, and now it's a narrative of we have radicalized during these years, and now we are more naming the destructive systems that we want to overthrow, such as capitalism, colonialism, imperialism, and all these unequal structures and systems that all lead towards genocides, ecocide, and ultimately risking our entire civilization and planet if we continue on the same trajectory. It is very clear that when a movement is trendy, when it is popular, when gains you votes or popularity, whatever, to support it. You support it with your words, not with your actions. But then when that visibility disappears, when we move into something else, then that completely disappears, which shows that they actually never cared about the cause itself. They only cared about using the momentum to gain popularity or whatever they were gaining, which is such awful thing to see, because of course the climate crisis doesn't disappear, and the climate crisis is intrinsically linked to many other struggles, and we have to be capable of keeping more than one thought in our head at the same time. Yes, there's a climate crisis. Yes, there's a genocide in Palestine. Yes, we are experiencing oppression and violence, increased fascism in our own backyards, and we need to be able to connect these together and fight against all these causes at the same time, because they do have one shared enemy, which is our destructive system. People often ask me, what is the connection between the struggle for liberated Palestine and climate justice? And in my view, I don't see in what way they are not connected, because they share the same values. I became an activist because I believe in values of justice, liberation, equality, and human as well as planetary well-being. The first demonstrations I attended were demonstrations to welcome refugees in Sweden, and then I attended climate marches, because for me they are the same cause. They have the same enemy, capitalism, colonialism, ultimately a system where somehow a fortunate few have been given the right to exploit and sacrifice the vast majority of the world's population, as well as the entire planet and our biosphere, the life-supported systems we are all depending on, just to maximize short-term economic profits and to maximize geopolitical power at all costs. Ultimately, it shouldn't even be a question of why these questions are linked, because if we ask ourselves why are these linked, that means that we don't see Palestinians as humans. If we are only fighting for a sustainable green future for our white privileged children, then that is racist. We can't claim to be climate justice activists without also fighting for the people and alongside the people who are experiencing marginalization, oppression, and suffering today. But of course, also Palestinians know probably more than anyone how ecocide and genocide go hand in hand. Oppression has many different faces, and ecocide, climate crisis, the systematic destruction of natural habitats, making the land inhabitable, is definitely one of the faces of oppression which Palestinians are facing. Having a conversation where we are always asking ourselves, like, what do we need to do better? What do we have to change in order to achieve our goals is necessary and constructive. And we do have many things we need to change. We need to more and more meet people face to face and connect their personal everyday struggles to the broader systematic struggle, and have concrete tools for people to become active, have communities where we welcome everyone. No one has to be perfect in order to take action. there are many ways that we can improve, but I do think it is also central that we remember that whatever we achieve or fail to achieve is not our fault. We are, in most cases, doing our very best. And putting the blame on ourselves is very easy. It is much easier than actually zooming out and saying, okay, the system is rigged, not in our favor. And almost whatever we do, we will be outpowered. I do also believe that we shouldn't be too harsh on ourselves. Yes, we need to escalate. Yes, we need to continuously find new methods, but we also need to see where the actual problem lies. Thank you.